Hello, everybody. Good evening. A very warm welcome to Spirituality for All live session today. I think I've come here live for the first time. So, a very warm welcome to everybody who is watching this video and listening to this session. You may not be here now, but you may join us later. You might be watching the video on YouTube, wherever you are. A very, very, very happy Valentine Day to you all. How have you all been? Have you enjoyed your Valentine Day today? A lot of people must have celebrated in their own ways. With their loved ones, and some in other countries all over the world. It is a day that is celebrated all over the world, Valentine Day. It also happens to be my Didi's birthday today, so her birthday is celebrated by the whole world. Do we actually even know what is Valentine's Day? I'm sure a lot of you out there know, but if you're anybody like me, once upon a time, then I didn't know what was Valentine's Day marked for, apart from that it was all about romantic love and for lovers, mainly for lovers only. And today, it is being celebrated it has been extended to friends and family too, which is actually a very, very, very good thing to happen. It's a wonderful idea, don't you think so? I think so. I think that Valentine's Day should be not only just romantic love, it should be universal love. Because love is essence of life. So shall we find out what the Valentine Day was all about and how it came into being and why it is celebrated? So I'm reading a small article that I have come across, which I would like to share with you all. It is believed that Valentine's Day is named after a Saint Valentine, which a lot of us know, who was a Catholic priest in Rome in the 3rd century. Every year, Valentine's Day comes as a reminder for us to celebrate our loved ones. The special occasion celebrated annually and worldwide on February 14th is a commemoration of love, friendship, and togetherness. Let me say that again. It is a commemoration of love, friendship, and togetherness. But while so much about the day is known, the reason why it is called what it is called is still a very little known fact. It is believed that Valentine's Day is celebrated and named after Saint Valentine, who was a Catholic priest in Rome, and which we have just learned. And while there are many theories about him, his connection with the celebration has become the one that has become most popular over the years is a story we associate with the celebratory day today. Then what happened? How did it come into being? During his time, while many Romans converted to Christianity, the then Emperor Claudius II continued to be a pagan and made strict rules about what Christians were and weren't allowed to do. He believed unmarried and single Roman men made better soldiers than those with wives and children. He issued a decree preventing young men from marrying, expecting them to only be devoted and to serve Rome. It was then that Saint Valentine emerged and began getting them married in secrecy. Christian ceremonies were held stealthily, and it earned him the reputation of a man who believes in the importance and power of love. So what we have just learned is that the day has been named after Saint Valentine, who was a Roman priest, and the then Emperor Claudius too continued to be a pagan, because a lot of people at that time were converting into Christianity. And he believed that unmarried and single Roman men could do a better service to serve Rome than people who were married and had children. So he basically stopped people from getting married. And what Saint Valentine did was he secretly got people married. And so people thought that he was somebody who believed in the power of love. However, it failed to remain a secret for long, and when it was discovered that Saint Valentine was imprisoned for his crimes against Claudius. During his time in jail, he cared for other prisoners, particularly for the jailer's daughter who was blind. Legend has it that Saint Valentine cured her blindness, and it was his final act of kindness before his execution. And when did the execution take place? The execution took place on 14th of February. And before his death, there was a letter written to her, signed off by him, saying, "From your Valentine." So this is why Saint Valentine Day is celebrated on February the 14th as a day of love, friendship, and togetherness. But over the years, over many years, we have made it so commercial. We as in people have made it so commercial. Businesses have made it so commercial. Just imagine love spreading as one very strong vibration in this universe around the world. Love is defined by so many people in so many different ways, isn't it? And different people have different perception of love. Unconditional love, spiritual love, romantic love, parental love, motherly love. So many different relationships in the world carry this emotion, carry this Sorry, we got little disconnected over there because of poor connection. So as I was saying, that all the different relationships in the world have this one common emotion, one common very strong foundation, which is love. And it seems that all of us are by default made of this predominant emotion built within us, love. Unconditional is something very hard to find. We all think that we love each other unconditionally. But when we really tap into ourselves, we see that somewhere along the lines, the love is conditioned in some way. So many parents think that, oh, I raised my children, so now my children should do this for me. That becomes conditioned love because there is expectation attached to it. As soon as there is an expectation attached to love, it does not become unconditional. It doesn't remain unconditional. It becomes conditional. Whether we are parents, whether we are children, even children, parents must do this for me. Why did you not do this for me? Why did you not do that for me? Complaining. I think what weakens love is a lot of complaining. But then there is always going to be expectations in relationships, because usually relationships work with give and take. And if it is only give, obviously one day the person is going to feel being used in that relationship. If it is give all the time. And if we say that love should be unconditional and we should not expect anything in return, but it is up to the other person to understand how to reciprocate. So there are so many elements around this, isn't it, that weakens this very strong vibration that we all are born with by default. How do we actually understand that emotion of love? All the way from our mother's womb, isn't it? We understand that emotion, love. A mother unconditionally loves the child, nurtures, protects. So the child understands the warmth, the feel, the touch, and that is how it manifests in our subconscious mind. Then the child grows up and the mother continues to give unconditional love to child. Fathers do as well. Both mother and father, parents. Parents are the only people in this whole wild world, whether we like it or not, but it is a fact that parents are the only, and I mean to say good parents. I have to say this in today's day and age, because not all parents love their children unconditionally. So good parents who love their children unconditionally The child gets nurtured, nurtured, nurtured like a plant that is being watered, and it can only grow in soil and water. And love is that emotion, isn't it? That nurtures that growing relationship with plant and soil. Soil that nurtures a plant with soil and water. But when you stop giving, when you stop nurturing, feeding that plant what it needs to grow, then it will stop to grow or it will die. That is what love does, isn't it? Can we imagine life without love? Love is an essence of life. Every second, every minute of our life, we want to be nurtured. Our soul needs to be nurtured. And the best way it gets nurtured is by love and care. I read this very beautiful thing. It probably was on Facebook or maybe one of the WhatsApp messages, and I've saved it on my profile. The relationships don't die on its own. They die because of ego, anger, jealousy. That is very true. So if you have seen my chakra series, the chakra meditation series, what do we do? Sometimes our emotions go low, sometimes our emotions go high. It is all to do with the frequency of vibration that we carry in ourselves, which we call energy. And sometimes we feel low, sometimes we feel okay. Sometimes we feel very happy, sometimes we feel very sad. It's all got to do with this energy within us that goes up and down, and sometimes it is weak and sometimes it is strong. So what is it that we can do to nurture ourselves, to love ourselves, and love other people unconditionally? We need to keep our heart chakra in balance. For those who know about chakras will understand what I'm talking about. For those who don't, you can go on YouTube and you can see some of my chakra meditation videos that I put there. We have main 7 chakras in our body. The root chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and then the heart chakra, anahat chakra. So when our heart chakra is under functioning, it means that we are kind of seen as very cold people. You know how sometimes we see other people as very cold, or they find it very difficult to express their emotion, they find it very difficult to express their love, they find it very difficult to express themselves in general. That is when the heart chakra is considered to be functioning low. When the heart chakra is excessively functioning, then it means that the person is too sensitive, the person is too giving, the person, we kind of run after people. We are always chasing, we are always, seeking to maybe get attention or be loved all the time. That is a, excessive functioning of heart chakra. How do we balance it? Balancing is very important. When our heart chakra is in balance, we feel our soul energy being in balance. By that, what I mean is we don't overly get disturbed by other people's behavior, especially the negative behaviors. We don't get overly disturbed by them. Yes, there is always a time to communicate, and if some things need to be communicated, by all means, we can communicate them. But some people snap very quickly before you can even finish a sentence. You know what I'm talking about. We all have encountered such experiences, haven't we? So not being too overly sensitive, not being too overly demanding, not being too overly affectionate. I used to be like that. I used to be overly affectionate. But sometimes we have to withdraw ourselves from a situation to analyze it, to understand it, and just gather our emotions in one place. And also to remember that we need to look after ourselves, we need to look after our own feelings, we need to look after our own emotions. So that is called a balanced heart chakra. But that doesn't mean that withdrawing doesn't mean that we stop loving people or we don't care for them or we don't think about them. It is just that everything is in a balance. We learn to understand, we learn to differentiate between excessive or not doing anything, somewhere in the middle. But when the divinity rises in us, when the divinity comes into our every thought, word, and action, we start to expect less or nothing, even better. And yet, we give unconditionally. We love unconditionally. Today's day and age, what has become is, we will wait, we will see, let's see what happens. He can do this, she can do this. If she doesn't, why should I? If he doesn't, why should I? All these ego, negative emotions. They create barriers. They create barriers. But when I said that the divinity comes in our every thought, word, and action, we overcome these barriers. And to give becomes very easy. Because there is no expectation. We are content within ourselves. So giving becomes very easy. Caring becomes very easy. Loving becomes very easy. That is why it is my passion to share this experience of the difference between spirituality and religion or faith. Because they are two completely different worlds. Once we become a spiritual being, our whole outlook in life changes. And then it becomes like a Saint Valentine Day every day. That doesn't mean that the problems will go away. That doesn't mean that we will not encounter difficult situations in our life. It only means that our vision changes, our thought process changes. And when that changes, it brings so much peace and serenity within us that all our chakras automatically start feeling in balance. I know a lot of people ask me that what happens if one person is spiritual and the other isn't. Well, that is a situation for many of us. Just because we become spiritual or just because we want to change our ways of doing things doesn't mean that other people will change. Has gone. Sorry, we missed each other for a split second because the connection was weak. My apologies. Today we are having some problems in the internet connection today. So what I was saying was that just because we want to change the way we do things doesn't mean that other people will also be the same. So how does it help us? The way it helps us is that we learn how to handle those situations that we are faced with. We become more confident. We don't panic. We don't get anxiety. We learn to accept. We learn to analyze. We learn to understand. That is what spirituality does to us. So that is about the Saint Valentine Day. Spiritual love. Unconditional love. Love for every living being. And as far as possible, we are not God. If we were God, we wouldn't be here. We are not perfect, because if we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. But at least we can try to be a better person today than we were yesterday, and a better person tomorrow than we were today, or we are today. Life has so many different facets, like a diamond, isn't it? Diamond has so many different facets. And we are faced with different situations in our life. And whilst we cannot be perfect, at least we can be more vigilant, we can be more aware in our dealings with our difficult situations, challenging circumstances. So, going back to the question that has come to me, that what do you do when one person is spiritual and the other isn't? When we change the way we do things, actions are louder than words. People see the difference. People see how calm and collected we feel. And then they begin to realize that there is something in what he is doing or in what she is doing that I need to do too. So we can influence other people by our own actions. We cannot change them. They have to change themselves. It has to be a self-initiative. A total self-initiative. There was another question that was asked to me. It's been sent to me, which I would like to answer here. That how do we start? Where do we start? Well, you can start right here, right now. As soon as we make a decision, for example, if I am getting very angry and I know that I've got a bad temper, the minute I have that awareness that I have a bad temper, that is our starting point. Majority of people struggle because they don't even want to accept that I have this and that I need to do something about it. They don't want to accept. They always want to see fault in the other people. But it all starts within us. So the minute we have this awareness that this is what I need to do, I don't want to be like this. I want to change. I want to get rid of this bad emotion from me. The minute you make that decision, that becomes your starting journey. So that's how you start. And you have to be very patient with yourself. We can't bring all the change in our negative behaviors overnight. We have to work on them. But the first starting point is the awareness, the acceptance, and the willingness to change. And then the commitment until it is achieved. A lot of people start, a lot of people are aware, a lot of people accept, and then they fall back because there is no commitment. They give up. We get this one human life. We don't know what we are going to be in our next life, or whether there is a next life or not. So we want to make the best of it in this life. We want to be a much better person when we go from here than what we came as. So I hope I have answered the two questions. I hope my lovely viewers who have asked me those questions, I hope I've answered them. If you have any further questions, please do feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to clarify anything. I usually do Thursday sessions and Sunday sessions from another Facebook page, Gayatri Parivar UK. But because today was a Saint Valentine Day, and some people have suggested that why don't I do the English sessions from this particular page, Spirituality for All, where it is all only about spirituality, which is what we have done today. And I thought it was a good mention, it was a good suggestion. So it was a Valentine Day today, and I thought, why not give it a go today? And we have our first live session from this page today. So basically, no reading, but just covering a spiritual topic, which is what I was doing in my Zoom sessions with my Sunday group a couple of months ago. And I had very good feedback from them. They all loved it. They all liked it. But the Spirituality for All page has been there for quite some time. So please feel free to send me a message on Messenger. Please do let me know if there is anything that you wish to see on this particular page in the live session. I'll be more than happy to cover that. I am hoping to continue these live spirituality only sessions from this particular page, which will be Sunday evening. And I will continue to do one live session from the Gayatri Parivar UK page, which is more dedicated to my spiritual master's teachings. I hope you have enjoyed all. I have also put a very nice spirituality for beginners PowerPoint presentation course together, and it has been very well received from many people, and it is something that I wish to share it here. I'm just gonna have to find a way to do it. Spirituality for All. It is not any religion based, it is not any faith based. I do talk about Gayatri Mantra in the beginning in that course, but it is all to do with who we are. I'm absolutely passionate about this subject because it has really helped me, and I cannot put it into words how much it has helped me. And if I can live so much in peace, tranquility, love, and care, and understanding situations in our life better, accepting them, facing our challenging situations with courage. It is my ardent wish and desire to help other people in my very small little humble way that I can. Because when I see a lot of people around me, how much, they are suffering, and how much, they are in a turmoil, and how some youngsters, they are lost. I think that if all of us can tap into this subject, embrace it, practice it in our life, we all can live such a beautiful, meaningful, fulfilling life. That we stop attaching happiness to a person or a thing or a situation. and then we can become bondage free for whatever little we can, still keeping all our loved ones in our life close to us, but from a totally different perspective. So that is my main aim of this game. I hope you can all join me again on next Sunday. Feel free to write here if you want to, and if I can answer anything here, or if you wish to discuss anything here, or if you wish to say anything here, I'll be more than happy to take your comments here in the live session too. But thank you so much everybody for joining, giving your time, your love, support. We all are in the same boat. And the purpose of doing all these sessions is just to be supportive and help each other in whichever little way we can in understanding the biggest subject of our life, which is this. Love you all. Wishing you a very, very, very happy Valentine Day to you all. Be happy, keep smiling. A friend of mine always says that. Be happy. Be happy, keep smiling, keep supporting. And thank you again for being here with me on this journey. Love you all. Take care. Be safe. Thank you. Thank you so much.